Welcome to another episode of the Wandering Watercolor. Today I'm working on the first page of the Everyday People watercolor coloring book. If you purchased it from me at one of the markets, I really appreciate you. And if you just want to look at it or buy it through my website or my Etsy shop, the information is in the description. And if you just want to paint along with us, you can just pause, draw out what we'll be painting, and then just continue once we start painting. Okay, let's get to the painting table. So this is the image. This is the page, the first page that I'm painting. They are more than likely out of order because I don't always put them in the same order, just so that there's always a different first image because it looks more interesting, I guess. So just look for this one in your book. Now I painted several different versions of the same one. So and actually this print was a little more outlined when I made it, and you can see they're all very similar but slightly different. I think it's kind of interesting because this one and this one are the exact same one. It's just that the way that I painted the hair is a little different. It almost makes them look like they're twins or something, like slightly different person. But the reason I'm showing all of these is just so that you can see that there's a lot of similarity, but also variability with watercolor. And also, some of these I painted with this brush. Some of them I painted them with my more professional brushes. I usually use these when I'm working on a commission. And I'll use one of my water brush pens like this when I'm sketching or trying to get ideas going. But either way, any of these effects are achievable with just this brush. You just have to, it just takes more time and more practice. But yeah, I just wanted to show that to you just so you know what we'll be working on. And I always have my rag, my brush, my palette. I do make these palettes. If you want to use the exact same one as me, that'll also be in the description. And scrap piece of paper, we're good to go. Oh, I'm also using a jar of water instead of using the reservoir in the brush. And this is just a soap dish. You can pick it up at any general store or online. Okay, so the very first thing we'll do is we will grab some of this black. It's more of a blackish bluish when you start diluting it, but it's very dark. So, and we'll grab some of the blue, the dark blue, mix it in. Basically the guy's just wearing a jean jacket with jean pants, and the pants are a little darker than the jacket. Yeah, I want this to be a little bluer, so we'll just grab a little more of the brighter blue, make it look a little more jean color. Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. And the way we're going to color this is a little different than how we were doing it before. We're going to do a heavy pigmentation on the side. The light is coming from this way, but we'll do a lot of splatters and effects on this way, on this side, just because there's more space. Also, it works with the composition because he's walking forward, and if the splatters are going backward, it looks better. If you had more space on this side, then you could do it the other way, but yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna grab a little more of this, a little more of the dark blue. Gonna grab a bunch of the pigment, and we're gonna go right here, like that. It's very heavy. I'm laying it down very heavy on purpose. and I'm not too worried about staying inside of the lines. And I'm just gonna put my brush in the water, I'm not gonna rinse it off, and just kind of go right in like that. Do that again, maybe a little variation on how it's looking. Now I'm gonna rinse my brush a little bit, rub it off in my rag, and then pick up some of the color, and then add a little bit there, a little bit there. See how quickly we did that? That is a very quick effect. Maybe rub off some of it. Try to get a little, like a little difference on how it looks for where the light might be hitting it. Trying to make it look like a jean jacket. You know, kind of how jean jackets have that weird fading kind of in different spots. So that looks fine to me. There are little white spots here, that's fine. I think that adds to the piece instead of take away from it. And then you can get the black, just pure black, and we'll do the same thing back here. We're just gonna go like this, and like this. Maybe a little line like that, and then just kind of like, okay, now I'm just gonna rinse off my brush, and then while it's still wet, the brush is still wet, I'm just gonna pick up and then run it down, and just like that. Same here, picking up the color and then just running it straight down for the legs, and that's pretty much that. Very quick. We did a lot very quickly so far, so if you need to go slower, just rewind, slow down the video, whatever you need to do. Don't feel like you need to rush, but these are the steps. They're fairly simple. Now I'm gonna dilute this blue over here. I'm gonna do a little bit, they're gonna be like quick strokes, kind of like stylized, maybe some splatters. Like that. That's fine if it runs a little bit over here or over here. If it runs, that's fine. It makes it look more expressive. Now the shoes down here, they are completely black, so we're gonna use full saturation in the black, and I'm also gonna shape my brush a little bit. When the brush tip is more heavily pigmented, it kind of helps hold the bristles together, which would help for you to get more thinner lines. Look at that one right there, that was really thin. But yeah, basically we're just gonna go right in just for where we're gonna leave the shoelaces white, and then the bottom, the sole of the shoe is gonna be white as well, and everything else is gonna be black, just like that. Okay, rinse my brush. Okay. Now, if you think back at how black this was right here when we first laid it down, and now it's kind of dried, that's just a good thing to remember with how watercolor always dries much, much lighter. And now for the jacket again. Well, let me see. Yeah, it's dry enough. For the jacket, I'm gonna get the dark blue, get a bunch of the dark blue, and get it in here. And actually, maybe I'll get some of the black as well. Yeah. Really, really try to darken it. Now, there's already a dark color here. There's lighter gradations and darker parts of this. But we can still add more. We can still add more. The parts that there's already dark on them will look that much darker, and then other parts won't. But okay, like that. Yeah, emphasize some of the shadows. And by the way, yours does not have to look exactly like mine. I think you kind of get the idea. And it's actually more fun when you have a little bit of freedom with it and you kind of just have fun with it. And here the pocket's kind of folded. Okay. Maybe a little bit of the fold in the jacket right there. Now I'm gonna rinse off my brush while it's wet. I'm just gonna go in, soften up some of the edges right down here, maybe right here. And that's it. Yeah, actually I might soften up this edge a little more right down here. There we go. I like how that looks. Okay. And now we're going to start using the brown. So I was thinking about using black. So the shadow is going to be cast this way over here on the ground. And I was going to use black, but because of how we're using too many cool dark colors, so I'm going to warm up the painting a little bit by the use of brown for the ground, like he's walking on dirt or something. Maybe that's why he picked up his longboard. He needed to walk over some dirt. But this is too bright. This is too bright and orangish, so I'm gonna dilute it, or not dilute it, but kind of dull it. And for that, I'll use a little bit of the green. Yeah, that looks better. Maybe a little more. There we go. And some more brown. Maybe some blue. Like, I still want it to look brown, just more dull, you know, kind of like dirt. Okay, that's fine. Kind of like get a bunch of it off. I want to make kind of like dry, semi-dry brush strokes because it gives it more texture for the ground. Okay, so like this. See how if I press down more and there's more pigment on the brush, it ends up leaving like a textured stroke, which actually helps make it look makes it look more interesting. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Maybe add a little more to the bottom underneath the sole to make it darker. There we go. And clean off my brush here. Okay, and while we are using the brown, maybe get a little more of the reddish brown. We'll go ahead and we'll put some for the hair, the beard and the hair. So we'll go like this. We'll go like this. Yeah, just those two. Rinse off my brush. Still have a little bit of water left on it, and then I'm gonna go like this. The reason being is it really helps make this easily into a gradation. Yeah, so it's like it's not all the same tones, or not. It's all different shades of the same color for the hair. So that looks fine. Next we'll go back here in the pants. Pants are pretty easy because it's just the same color. We're just gonna go straight for the black. Like it's not anything complicated. Basically we're just trying to outline different parts and emphasize where there's folds. So we're gonna go like here, maybe a little bit down here. You know how jeans often have that kind of like line going on the side of them, I guess where they put together the jeans. Like that. Maybe a couple of folds. I want there to be some distinction between the front leg and the back leg, so that's why I'm covering the back leg with a lot more dark color, and the front leg not so much. And I'm gonna just get my wet brush after rinsing it off, kind of like fade it in a little bit, just because I don't like the very hard look. Like you can have some hard lines, I think that's fine, but if it's all hard lines, and it looks a little weird to me. Like it's better if you have like some balance. I think that came out a little dark here. I'm gonna pick up some of the color. There we go. Okay, that looks pretty good. Pretty good so far. And oh, here, let's do the socks real quick because they're very easy. I'm gonna get the brown or the burgundy. Just some burgundy. If you have a different paint set, it's pretty easy to mix. Just get like some red and brown, and maybe add a little bit of dark blue, kind of like play with it. And then we're gonna go just like that, make a little rhombus on the socks. Or I guess a diamond, little diamond. There, that's it for that. So, looking good so far. We did a lot in only, it's not even 20 minutes yet. We did a lot. So, I'm gonna have to clean up some of my mixing plate here. Okay, clean it up. Okay, so yeah, now is a good. Yeah, this is dry. Now is a good spot to start working on the skin. We'll mix that by getting some of the orange color here, or orange yellowish. Get a little bit of the burgundy, and then just that's too much. Well, let's see. Add a little more of the yellow, and then get a little of the white. Some more of the white, and kind of work it in, and I think that looks like a decent skin color. Ah, come on, crap. Got the blue in there. Okay, so that looks fine. So basically, it's pretty simple. We don't like don't overcomplicate it. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go put a line right here, a line right here, and then clean off the brush, and then just right there, and then use that to cover the whole face, up here, the ear. So wow, I kind of made him look very yellowish. That's okay, we can change that tone a little bit. First, let's just kind of lay down the base. I'm gonna put a little bit right here, and then also a little bit right there. Rinse off my brush, and then kind of get a little bit of the color. And right here as well. So that's okay. The face came out. The face and the skin is looking way too yellow. So let's get a little bit of the burgundy and mix that in. Yeah, that's okay. We'll get a little bit of the white. You see, that's more of a pinkish now. And we're just gonna wait for that to dry before we go over with this layer. When we go over with this layer, it'll kind of help offset it a little bit. Yeah, that came out a little weird. That's okay though. Part of the reason why I like these watercoloring books is because is the exact reason why I made them is because I can just practice multiple times and then get the techniques right, and then when I'm working on like a commission or an actual like a competition piece or something like that, I'm much more confident with how I color things and how I make things. Okay, I'm gonna get the brown here. Maybe mix it with a little bit of the darker. Okay. And then I'm gonna go in right there. And right underneath here. rinse off my brush completely, and then grab some of that and then put it in here. Same here. I'm gonna dry off my brush and then pick up some. That's fine. Ah, crap, I just noticed the blue got in my skin tone. That's okay. Alright, yeah. That's fine. Let me just grab some of this. And go right down here. And right underneath here. And just right there. And right there. Rinse off my brush. And then just kind of... There we go. That's maybe helps offset it a little bit. Okay, dry off my brush. And then the thing about watercolor, it's very much kind of feel it as you go, kind of like feeling like, all right, it's too much, too little. Let's see, you gotta work. That's okay. That's a little better, but we'll let it dry and then we'll get back to it in a little bit. Fix that. So we're gonna get back to the pants down here. As I'm sure you've noticed, they keep like they're very, very dark and black whenever we lay down the color, but when we get back to it, it's much lighter. Go a little line. And then a little line right there. Okay, that's good. Kind of clean up this mess. Okay, so this is the jacket color here. Get some of the dark blue, mix it in. Maybe some of the black, mix it in. Yeah, that's too much. Get more of the dark blue. Okay. And then go in, get a little bit of an outline there. Right here. Just kind of throwing down some lines. These I'm not gonna really these ones I'm not going to dilute them in any way. They're just there, kind of like making some more stronger lines to help with the definition. There we go. That's fine. Let me see if that's okay. Hair is not completely dry, but that's okay. The next part that we're gonna focus on is the glasses. I'm gonna dry off my brush completely, And then just kind of pick up some of this really dark color right here. I want my brush to be as dry as possible because I'm making that. I'm gonna shape the tip of the brush so I can make a thin line. Okay, let's see. That's fine. That'll work. And basically, it's kind of hard to say, but like if you look at if you kind of rotate the brush and look at the tip of it, you can see how it's more flat in some angles and more like wide in some angles. So we're just trying to get the thin flat side. Not good at all. That was not dry. Oh my goodness. So now I'm just gonna pick that right up. Not good at all. That was not dry. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna take some of that off with my wet brush. Kind of rub it out. Jeez. Thought that was dry. Never mind. Never mind that. There we go. Still salvageable. Hopefully that didn't happen to you. If it did, it's very easy. Just rinse your brush, get the wet brush, get in there, grab the color, and you can even like kind of rub some of it out even after it's dried, or yeah, that's fine. Okay. So, you know, let's just focus on the long board next. So we're gonna get some red, some burgundy, mix it together. We're just gonna go straight in like that. I know it looks strong, but that's okay. I'm gonna go right there and just kind of fill it in nice and slow. And same back here. Just fill it in. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then while it's still wet, we're gonna grab the yellow orange here. And then just go right in. Kind of make the two fuse a little bit. And just pull it in. There we go. Very slow. I know it's very strong, like the colors are strong, but it'll look better once they dry. Okay, so we got that. Alright, let me see, is this dry now? It feels dry. I'm gonna just make sure. I'm gonna dab it with my rag here. Okay, so while that's, I'm gonna give it another minute or so, and I'm just gonna use the dark brown. I'm gonna get more brown here, and just kind of do some strokes and outlines here for the beard. The same right here. Just kind of like a couple of strokes just to show maybe where there's some folds in the hair. Give it a little more definition. So that's fine. So next we can do the wheels. And this color right here is actually perfect. A little bit of orangish. I'm gonna throw one right there. Right there. Right there. And right there. When you're painting these, it's okay to stop. I mean, I'm sure you've noticed I've done this multiple times throughout the video. Just kind of like stop and take a moment and step back from it and look at it, see how it looks. And then kind of assess what you need to tweak, what you need to fix. So this actually looks, with the mess up that I did there, it looks pretty good. Okay, so now this right here is dry enough to where we can just go. I'm gonna dry off my brush and go straight for the black pigment. Let's try this again. All right, just gonna go. You know what? Let me make a couple of practice strokes here. Maybe get some of the pigment off. Okay. Just do a nice thin stroke. Wow, that is not a thin stroke. Yeah, there's too much water. Too much water on the brush. And it all kind of clumped up there. That's okay. It's alright, it looks more like sunglasses. I'm just gonna leave that like that now. Well, actually, no, I'm gonna dry off my brush and try to pick up some of that pigment because that's too much right there. Too much. Yeah, I'm definitely just making it worse. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm just not gonna touch it. I'm just gonna leave it like that. And the last thing that I'm gonna focus on as that dries is the skin. So I'm gonna get some of the burgundy, some of the orange, yellowish, and basically I'm just trying to add shadow so that there's more definition. So like right there. Maybe like right here under the beard. Maybe in the ear. Maybe a little bit underneath the nose. There we go. And I'm just gonna take a moment, kind of look at it. So if you want to, you can color in the little metal parts that hold together the wheels. And then if you want, you can add shadow if you want to the on the board. But the video itself is getting kind of long, and I actually like how this looks like this. So I'm just gonna leave it at that, and we'll call it a day. But you can always go back to it and add more if you wanted to. Okay, so yeah, thank you for sticking with me. There were a couple of mess ups, but as long as you don't freak out, you can just kind of adjust and fix things as you go. And I'm gonna be making more of these for the other pages, and I'll add them to the playlist. So yeah, thank you for painting with me, and I will see you next time.